Well, no matter where you are in the country, it would be hard to find anyone who doesn't like Southern food, something our next guest knows all too well. Nicki Wood is a food writer, a restaurant reviewer, and the author of this wonderful cookbook. It's called the Southern Cooking for Company cookbook, and I just think it's delightful. I've enjoyed reading it. It's almost like reading a novel.
Oh,
just
I'm
about.
glad are you one of those people who reads cookbooks for fun?
I do. I really
me
do.
too.
Let me tip this so you can really see the cover. Look how pretty that is. And the recipes inside are so interesting. Food is such a great story these days, and Southern cooking is really becoming so popular all over the country.
Right. Well, you know, it's sort of in a spell of reinvention right now, and it's getting a new identity like a lot of the South. So I wanted to capture that moment that cooks are reinventing the way they use Southern ingredients and the way they're cooking traditional Southern recipes, updating them.
Yeah.
So one good example is this. Let's show
this looks so great.
It's a moon pie cake, and the most powerful thing you can do in your kitchen is experiment. So this cook from Murfreesboro decided to bake regular moon pies in a loaf cake.
So there's a moon pie right in the middle of the slice.
You can see where the marshmallow melted.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of moon pie in everyone. And this is a really rich cake. It's a chiffon cake, which means it's made with oil instead of butter. So it has a little lighter texture, but it has a cup of cocoa in it. So it definitely scratches the chocolate itch. So it's absolutely delicious. So that's the kind of experimentation I captured a little bit in Southern Cooking for Company. People doing completely new things.
But using Southern ingredients that we all know and love. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Southern ingredient we're all going to love in this, of course, is peaches.
Peaches, they're so pretty. I thought, I'm afraid they looked a little like tomatoes, but those are peaches. And this is a good example of the new kind of ingredient we get in the South, which we didn't used to get, which in here you'll see sugar snaps and couscous, and we're going to put a few pistachios on to garnish it. They're all delicious together, and it's in a lime dressing. You might have expected it in a lemon dressing, but it's in a lime dressing. It's fresh, it's delicious, and it's the kind of thing you just never would have seen in the South 30, 40 years ago. And part of that is that we have better access to ingredients. 90% of Americans live within 15 minutes of a Walmart, and so you can get things like sugar snaps and edamame and manchego cheese. So there are a lot of really interesting recipes in the book, like manchego biscuits and manchego macaroni and cheese, and edamame made as succotash, where you would usually expect black-eyed peas and lima beans. So there's a lot of that going on.
So we're elevating those traditional recipes.
Elevating those traditional recipes and updating them, and I think a lot of that begins with chefs. When you go to a restaurant, you can see they're reinventing.
Definitely.
I see it a lot. So.
Well, and as people are moving to the South, we're discovering new ingredients and new ways to make recipes, and that's what you're showing us with this one.
Right, so this is our third one. This is, you know, everybody loves queso dip at a party. It's always the most popular player, and that's usually Rotel tomatoes and usually Velveeta cheese or one of the spicy cheeses. Well, this is goat cheese, and this recipe was developed by Tasia Malakasis, who owns Belchev Creamery, and that's what she makes. Goat cheese. So there's a jalapeno in there and garlic and onions, but it's in a goat cheese base. So it's tangy and light and a little creamy, and it is really good. We got a topping of tomatoes on there, and that is terrific. So they're sweet and tangy, and this is creamy and tangy, and then cilantro on, another ingredient we wouldn't have used 30 years ago at all. So Tasia is 100% Alabama, but also 50% Greek. So we have a lot of Southerners in the South we didn't have here before. Latin America, we have Somalis in Nashville, people from the Middle East, people from India who are bringing their ingredients and their recipes here, and we're seizing them and doing that Southern thing with them.
And that just enriches everything that we do.
It really does. And so there's a lot of that in the cookbook too. So it's not your traditional Southern cooking exactly, but I do think it's the way we're cooking now. Yeah,
and this is such a great resource. I think you're going to love this book. Thanks so much for sharing it with us.
Thanks for letting me come in.
We appreciate it. All right, it's called Southern Cooking for Company. I think you're really going to enjoy it. You'll find it wherever cookbooks are sold.